Welcome back, guys. This is going to be episode 4 of our Microsoft Flight Simulator slash Train Sim World 5, where I combine both the games together. We are about 20 miles out from San Bernardino. We're fixing to be going through the really tough grades, the 3% downhill grade, so I'm going to try to do as much, drone flying as I can so I can get recordings of the train again, because I like watching it myself, but maybe a little bit harder. I'm going to have to pay attention into this area, so let's continue. So we're actually 22 miles out, and we're up underneath the caution yellow, so kick the throttle back, drop down to 30 miles per hour, which should happen pretty quick because we're on an uphill run right now. 1.2% uphill. So it should drop speed fairly fast. Go ahead and get a run of the train while this is going on. Hope we don't go up underneath a red once we get up here, because normally there's another train crossing over the tracks. And over time I'll get better with flying the drone, because right now I'm a little bit rusty. It's been a few months since I've really done this. Alright. And here's our ending crew. Got 3 engines at the back. Let's see. Extend it, and then we'll do the flyover. Let's get on the bright side of things. Yeah. Yeah, I think we done slowed down to 30 for sure. Oh. Getting a little bit on the framey side right now. Back up to notch 3 again. I think we are below 30 miles per hour. Oh, well, no wonder why I was doing it. My bad. Alright. Let's get the camera right. There we go. Alright, right there. That's normally where I keep it, where I can see the front all the way to the end. Alright, let's get back inside and see what's going on. I was really close. I can tell by how fast the camera keeps up with the train. Basically, I can tell how fast I'm going. I done it so much. And we're starting to pull the grade now. It's actually increasing speed. And I'm only in notch 3 right now. And if you didn't catch my last episode or the one before that, we are carrying fully loaded tanker cars. Each one of those tanker cars weighs it's in between, I think it's like 250,000 pounds, and we're carrying 24 of them. So you can rough that math out in the calculator. It's a lot of weight. And we're on a completely flat surface with what I look at is barely minimal braking system. Like that's a lot of weight. I understand those axles are big, but they can probably be overheated pretty easily. Burn up the brake shoes on them. It's a lot of friction. Alright. normally, just for good habit, I just go ahead and kick the throttle out anyways, just in case we got to make a quick stop. Because if you're under power, it takes forever to drop amperage, get into the brakes, and then start applying dynamic braking along with your trailer brakes. Alright, yep, we got to stop at 2.2 miles, so that means another train is coming up the grade. So we're just going to coast it out from here. We still got to roll at least 2 miles, so no reason to hit the brakes just yet, because the train's naturally slowing down on its own. Don't want nothing hot before we get to that grade, because even in here you can overheat your brakes and they don't work. Once you ride them for so long, the train just starts picking up speed again. And we are playing on the realest level that I can get it for the PS5, so, and I'm still using a controller, so it can get hectic sometimes. Hopefully I don't have any more spam phone calls this morning. I used to enjoy my phone, I don't no more. Except for whenever I'm answering comments from you guys. If y'all got questions to ask, how am I doing this, whatever, just run it by me and I'll make a tutorial video on how I do this where you actually have a live train rail. Alright, I'm gonna have to get back into throttle again. We're losing momentum. Let's see what we got going on outside. See how the drone gets stuck? I wish that barrier wasn't there where you could actually fly the drone around free and get, better aerial views of it. Yeah, we ain't making no smoke. We're just barely giving it power to coast right now. Let's see. Yeah, we're not increasing speed. We're just coasting. Already got the reverser, like if the engine's pointing the other way, obviously if I'm trying to go forward, it's going forward, and pull against each other. But since it's got a flip device, I guess it knows rotationally which way to go. Like if the train's facing forwards, it would try to go backwards to assist me. It's already built into the program. You don't have to set your engines all in one direction. Wow, we're having to get up into notch 3. We're still losing. Oh, I know we're going to start accelerating now. I hear the turbos boosting up. Yep. We shot up from 13 to about 20 pretty quick. Part that takes a pretty good while, because you're going to have other trains coming out of the yard. Like, this is the slow part. Yeah, we still got a full mile to go. Get some of that outside. See, I want to look at it on Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I want to see what it actually looks like going through here. I've been looking at it on Google Maps to figure out how I'm going to plan my flight route. And what I'm going to do is I'll basically, all the delivery areas or, areas where they pinpoint as fast travels on the game, I'm going to fly around and do a loop on Flight Simulator and show you what that really looks like in real life. and see what's around it. Maybe we can have a better understanding of, you know, what freight goes over there whenever you're playing in these modes. That way you're not just taking freight randomly somewhere. I wish they had like actual delivery routes. You know, you jump in a locomotive, you hook up to whatever they got out on the line, and you make your decision on what freight you want to pull that day. And it's randomized, you know. You can get randomized engines. You just choose which ones you want to, you know, to be randomized in there. That would be to have. And create like a point system on there where everybody starts out with like the boo-boo locomotive, and you start hauling like smaller freight to the point where you can save up enough credits to have a 24 engine train, or a train nothing but engines, if you get what I'm saying, to flex, you know, how many points you've been making from playing this game. That would be a good thing. And make it a multiplayer, but everybody still has to follow the traffic rules. If they don't, you know, derailments happen. We gotta stop until the derailment's cleaned up. I know that would probably take months in real life, but you know, actually have a specific crew, like a derailment crew. They go out there. Once they're there, you know, it just looks like it's instantly cleaned up and the track's cleared. You know, they get out of the way, and then regular traffic resumes. If you get what I'm saying. So, all right, 0.7 miles away. Starting to lose our grade now, so go ahead, let it go into idle. We'll be having to stop here soon. I kind of want to get around that corner where I can see what's going on. I can see what's going on now, so I don't want to overheat these and stomp on them too bad, so just let it come to a 25%, because we're not even on a hill, so it ain't going to try to roll anywhere. Yeah, see, 25% stop this train perfectly. Once we get slowed down more, I'll lock it down. Alright. Let's watch this thing come to a stop. Yeah, I can hear the couplers hitting. Alright. Good enough. Full lock. Alright, we're stopped on the side of a hill. And this is what I call break time. Alright, we'll kick it out, make sure the train don't go anywhere. Independence good. And we'll at least lock everything else down 50%. Let's go out here and see what's going on. We're basically waiting on another train to come by. That's what we're doing right now. God, dude, I can't get that, how high up that is. It's got to be like, I'm almost 6 foot, or I'm 6 foot tall. That's got to be 12 feet. You're up in the air. I'm gonna look up what is the height of one of these locomotives. I think it's like 20 feet. No, maybe not that much. It's got to be at least 15 feet though, for sure. Look at this barrier, man. Come on. Shouldn't be a barrier there. Get good pictures. Yeah, I'm glad I got off the track whenever I did. Ooh, that would have been bad, son. Like I said, blind corner. You don't need to be out there on the track. Just imagine if you was caught on the other side of that track and some shit started going wrong over here and you can't get to it unless you jump. No, there's no way you could do it that fast. No way you couldn't jump in between them cars and get across the track. That means your shit would be rolling down the hill. That'd be an interesting phone call to dispatch. Man, we're gonna have a train coming in early today, guys. Better give it the all green because she ain't stopping. It probably would stop before it got to the guard with the brakes that I got it on. Alright, it should give us the green now. It's gonna switch. He's hauling ass down that hill too. Whoa, what the hell is going on? Okay. Oh, no, we're still up underneath the red. Oh, he's got to get past that other switch track down there. There's two of them. Watch it. Right whenever he passes, it's going to be green. Unless another train's coming. Huh. Well, he passed up the switch tracks for sure. Alright, so let's see what's going on. He just come past us. All we gotta do is check in between the switch tracks and they'll let you know. Nope, nothing this way. Let's get back. So it's gotta be back behind us. Man, why are we having to hold up for them? We're ahead of them. And they need to upgrade the AI operating system for this too. I'm being for real because it should have known to prioritize me. There's a whole train sitting there, but it's not doing anything. Alright, let's do it one more time. I'm blind in one eye, so sometimes I do miss stuff. But I really do not see another train on this line unless it's on the other one. I'm just not seeing it. See, here's a marker right here. What is this? This is the Cajun Pass Summit. So I'm gonna have to get all these, figure out where all these marks are, and yeah, we're gonna do that with the. Oh, we're like halfway there. If I just try to blow for me, sometimes it will do this. Come on, deny, wait for signal change. Sometimes what this is supposed to do is refresh the spawning of the trains and whatever's going on. Sometimes it gets glitched out, and that's kind of like a resetter for it. Sometimes it'll give you the green, sometimes you're sitting here waiting like we are. So I don't feel bad if y'all have to fast forward through it, but I can't, shut it off, stop recording and then wait and then make a 20-minute episode on here. They don't have anything on PlayStation where you can go in there. They got one thing, but it's such a pain in the ass to use. I can't use it for video editing. So everything I do is live, raw, it's uncut, everything, exactly how if I was doing it, because I don't have the capabilities right now of doing any video editing. But son, you let me get enough subscribers, because I know how to build PCs, and I'm gonna build a gaming PC. And I still stand up for my console guys. I'll still do stuff on there, but I want something where I can really get a good video editor out of. Like, I can still do everything on the PlayStation. if I wanted to, but I can at least use my PC to video edit with. Now this thing should have done changed by now. What is going on? And I see why train drivers be mad too, having to sit here and wait 30 minutes for something to go on. See, now that's one thing I like about Microsoft Flight Simulator, since I'm still comparing the games. The 2024, it has a simulation speed where you can speed up time. Like, you know, we're sitting here having to wait. I ain't trying to sit here and make y'all wait. They need to add on here where you can speed up the simulation time. You know, hurry up and get to a green light. I like the realism, but just sitting here doing nothing gets on my nerves too. It ain't just y'all, believe me. It's the reason why I'm resulting to talking. Oh, there we go. We got it. Thank God. Let's go. Let's go. Power up to 3. Go ahead and build boost, because we are carrying a heavy load. Let's go. Can't get over 30 though. We're still up underneath the caution yellow. We're picking up speed. Let's get out here and see what's going on. Yeah, we are definitely kicking up. We're going to throw it in the notch forward just because. You know, I never did get on here and check and see if my other engines were working at the back or not. Never did do it. Let's see. It should be on. Yeah, alright, we're still on. I think we're going to be jumping tracks here, so we're going to have to start paying attention. This is getting me ready. I think they got, from what I watched on the video earlier, these tracks down here, you know, you got northbound and southbound rails, but they got different tracks that make the grade easier to go down. We're going to be going down the hardest one, just because I want to do it. But dang, we shot up over 30 miles per hour like there was no tomorrow. But I wanted to go down the hardest one to show y'all, you know, the reason why it took 9 engines to do this. If we had to on the hardest load, say if they were working on some of these other lines that are descending, because there is a lot of traffic on this rail system. I think I watched a guy who flies drones around and records trains, and he can get like up to 15, 20 trains in a day. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, maybe not 20 every time, but he said a good 15 almost every day. So high traffic, so they're working on another line. You have to take it down the hardest line that you can. Oh my God, another light. That is craziness. So we done got stuck in another light, but that's the way it is over here. Whenever I was watching his stuff, these trains are having to go and stop all the time, which I would figure they would prioritize that not be the area to do it. Oh yeah, let's stop on a damn 30% grade and expect things not to go wrong. Yeah, there we go. Now that's better. We are almost around that corner on the rear. Yep, there they go. If I can get that out of the way. Yep, there's the end of it. thing that they need to do with the map, since we still got about a mile, and we'll go ahead and kick down to 1 notch. Alright, so you see on this map, you got areas, you can't even barely see them unless you're like zoomed in as to, let me see if I can find one real quick. Like I know there's one down here, like these little yellow dots, you can't see that shit whenever you're zoomed all the way out. Like how are you supposed to know where all the fast travel points are on here? But what they need to do is like where you can spawn in locomotives, if there is a locomotive there, you need to be able to fast travel to that locomotive unless it's already manned by an AI. But I mean, even if it is manned by an AI, all the computer has to do is cancel that action and you take over and follow the same route. You know, if you switch to it, it asks you, hey, do you want to take over this locomotive? There you go. You already got one in motion going down the track. You ain't even having to do all that stuff in the yard. Starting them up, fueling them, getting the train assembled, and then you get on the way. But it makes for fun videos. I like doing it from bottom up, you know. I wish they had a turntable here at this place, but they don't. So I'm pretty sure they probably do in real life. They just didn't put it in here. There's one map, I forgot the map that's on here that does have the turntable. I want to say it's the not the Sand Patch, the CSX. I want to say it's Norfolk Southern who has the turntable, and it may be Sand Patch, but it would be cool, you know, have a hangar where they park the locomotives at. All right, we're up. That's it. We're going to full throttle it now. There you go. There's full throttle. We're burning them now. See this thing increase speed really fast. That's a blind corner. I'll keep it out here. Yeah, we are taking off. Make sure I don't get up too fast. I don't even know what the speed limit is. Alright, back down to 1 because we don't know what that signal is going to be, and we're at 30 miles per hour. We'll have 500 yards to figure it out in, and I'll want to see if I can see the end of the train around that corner. But yeah, back to that idea I had about on here, have like a points or a credit system. You know, if you're hauling, all freight has a credit system. You got to have special license to haul certain freight. There's so much more they could do with this game. Just make it as a DLC, you know, have your own freight business. Because obviously you need more. Go ahead and jump up to it. We'll throw it in the 6. You know, build yourself up, take the licensing for, you know, to haul chemicals or whatever. You know, obviously if it requires a license, it pays more to haul it. So it kind of gives you like certificates to go through, and then in order to haul more freight, well, you got to save up enough credits to buy more locomotives, whatever you choose, you know. But until you get up to a certain level, you can't unlock, you know, just go in there and get what you want, or you can't drive. If you got the money, yeah, if you want to buy, you know, a brand new locomotive that just recently come out, then yeah, if you got the credits for it, okay, but you can't drive it on the rail until, you know, you got the license for it or you've unlocked it. You can still use it for the power. You kind of get what I'm saying? Alright. So, you just can't drive that specific one until you get certified for it. That way it gives you something to work for besides just, you know, freight grinding every day trying to save up, you know, for enough credits to buy another locomotive. if I knew how to make a game and do all that computer programming, I would take what they've already got here, mix it with Microsoft Flight Simulator using an actual real-world map with a 3D imager, let AI help you with some stuff. That way, you can work a little bit quicker. And make that game into here. And then if you want to go work at a different track, see some different scenery, that's where you keep your DLCs at. Now, it would be cool to have just one big world that you can interlock them together, or maybe make a way where you could interlock them together. If you're using a satellite image of the map, you could do that. So that's what I would hope that they would come out with, because that would be a great multiplayer experience. Actually have a rail traffic control kind of system going on, where somebody wanted to learn how to do that. They're operating the switch tracks, and if they screw up their job, they derail our train, and we get paid for it anyways without having to do the mission. That would be, pretty fun. It shows what you're doing as a rail master, I guess. And then locomotives need to have two people in them. I mean, you can do it with one, if you want to play the game solo. That would be, your choice. But having two people in here you can talk to, they can operate certain parts of the train and get out and go do the stuff. You're hearing each other talk back and forth. What are you doing? Going through your checklists and actually getting more information. That's another thing I appreciate about Microsoft Flight Simulator, the 2024, is they give you all the real paperwork that coincides with these airports, like how to tune in to the frequencies, what the altitude is above sea level. That way you can set your barometer right. It's got a lot of information that I know that the locomotive world has. They just don't have it in here. But a little bit of information on that side would be good. Like, what tracks can we choose? If I want to get over here and switch to a different line, I can just hit that signaler and see if I can catch another track. But what I wanted to add, not only do you have to purchase these locomotives, but you have to clean and maintain them. You got an inside cabin cleanliness and an outside cleanliness of the train. Just like in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the paint wears out. It fades over time of having it. Okay, and here you would have just like a car, you would have a suspension, an engine, a braking, and one hell of an electrical system, a generator, so you could have all these different areas that, on the locomotive that wear out, depending on how you drive it. If you drive it like real world scenario, your train won't wear out as fast. But if you're just out there gunning it, running them as hard as you can, going as fast as you can in an area, of course the speed limit, your train's going to wear out, and you're going to need to take it to the repair shop and get it maintenance, which could take some time to do. I don't know if I would put a time system in there. Somebody would probably get mad if they couldn't play the game and their one engine was being worked on because they did something wrong. So, okay, maybe have instant repairs. If you can afford it, go in there, boom, it's done. You're ready to go. And in the paint, I would want to be able to still custom paint my trains, however I wanted to make them. If I wanted to have my own, paint scheme and logo design, that way everybody shows everybody's little business, idea that they come up with for their locomotive. Because I would definitely dress one up to look like the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil. I've already got one made. I may pull it out. I think it's on here, but I don't know. I forgot what train sim world I built that one on. It may be in this one, but I got a Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil train in here using the I don't know if it's like this style, the EC or ES44, or the the SD40. I think it is this style of a locomotive though that I did Umbrella Corporation on. But you know, anyways, custom paint schemes, whatever you want to put on it, as long as it's appropriate. You know, I've seen some stuff over the years where you can make your own graphics. You know, it can get pretty explicit real quick, like. But anyway, we're passing up this other train now, so that's the reason why we're having to go slow. Go up to notch 4. We are ready to go. Man, it looks like it's going to be a whole nother video before we get there. To drive 40 something miles, it takes like 4 hours. So literally in a day you could go there and back and probably be over 8 hours of work. So, because we do stuff in a faster way on here, especially with the help of the drone camera. There's the end of it. Alright. But anyways, you know, back to my ideas on that. So the maintenance, category or area, you would have to service your locomotive. You would also have to pay for diesel or your fuel. Stuff like that is what I would really want to see in here, or what I would make if I wanted to make a train simulator. That's what I would expect to see in there. Alright, we're going to coast this for right now because I do not know if we're going to hit that grade or not. Let me set up my dynamic braking. Set up mode. Says we're still going uphill for now, but nope, there it goes. We're at a 0.6 down. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we gotta slow down to 30 miles per hour really quick, like. Yeah, this is where it's supposed to start getting crazy. We're supposed to start going down this hill. Alright, try to do it as well and watch it. Well, I wonder how much time we got left. Oh, we still got about 20 minutes left. We got down to 30. Back off up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get us down to 25 miles per hour. Because I remember it's really difficult doing it at 30. Over there. Yeah, I'm gonna do it just because I can. The only thing is I don't know how fast I'm going. I took a lot of the stuff off the screen, so y'all would be able to see things a little bit better. Alright, we're gonna switch on the right side. Trying to get this camera to do right. It looks like it's maintaining pretty good, actually. Yes. Heck, I'm only a notch 3 in. Oh no, it is slowly increasing speed. Kind of like you grabbing a fan and slowing it down with your hand. But think about it in an opposite, mode. The locomotive is using the electric motors to slow down. Alright, now I'm up at notch 7. We increased to 31 miles per hour. And we are slowing down. We're at a 3% grade. This is it. That's the reason why my camera angle is so messed up too. We're on the hill. shaking, letting me know it's about to derail because the stupid dynamic brakes would overheat and fail, and then the other stuff would fail. Which I'm gonna have to watch that. I've already got the heat icon on, so it's letting me know that it's heating up using this dynamic brake. I'm gonna slow down to 18 now. May do a minimal reduction. That's the reason why I got all these engines anyway, so I'll let it get back up to speed because it's too slow now. Watch how fast this thing increases speed. This thing is getting it right now. I'll have to play with it. I'm at notch 7. Slow down. Yes, alright, so 6 should either maintain or it should start actually speeding back up again. We already doing 30. Yeah, but speeding back up again, so we're gonna have to bump it between 6 and 7. Try to get some outside views. Back to 6. Yeah, this one's gonna be beautiful scenery in real life. Or on Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're gonna fly low. I'm only gonna get about maybe 2,000 feet in the air where we can see everything in detail. I'm starting to lose too much speed now. I guess my grades are changing. They'll start picking up speed now. I'm taking the safe route. I'm not flying down this hill like I normally try to do because it just takes so long to get through here. They say 35 is the utmost max you can do in this area. So I guess we're just gonna try. Is that rocks out on the track? Okay, alright. Like there was some big ass pile of gravel across the railroad track there. I was like, oh, that ain't good. No, now we're shot up to 40. I'm over here looking at gravel outside. basically using the maximum, without derailing the train, the maximum brakes on locomotives, the cars, the whole, the whole 9 yards. And get us back down to about like 20. And then I'll ditch the brakes and go back into dynamic braking again. Okay, right there. That's good. Let's see. Don't start speeding up on me again. Set up. Let's go. I don't need it picking up speed on me again. See, it can apply more kinetic energy at a slower speed. Like you can look up the foot down. See, I'm already up to like 63. So you got better capabilities of the dynamic brake at slower speeds. Normally descending this hill normally takes about like 40,000 kilopounds. What this gauge reads, a little bit over 40,000. I'll just say 50,000, and it'll maintain. It won't increase speed, but once you get up to like 40 and 50 miles per hour, you ain't gonna get but about 30 out of this thing, and you can't apply that much force at that grade of speed. See, the dynamic brake will almost stop it, but we are on a 2.2% grade, so I'm gonna let off of it a little bit. But you have to do this slowly. If you just dump off of it and it starts catching momentum and speeding up too fast, you ain't pissing the power up and quick enough to slow it down. You'll have to use your train brakes again, and about the second time of doing that, that's whenever stuff's going to start failing. Right now, that stuff is like so hot back there, you can cook off of it, and it's trying to cool off. So trying to use it again, it ain't going to work. We'll be in a pile of metal down here at the bottom of the mountain. Big gas ball exploded everywhere. Take a risk on that again, because I think you get down to 2-3 again. Yeah, we'll stick with that. We'll stick with 30. Alright, let's get out there. I know I got in the correct notch now, so. And whenever you go over switch tracks, your controller will vibrate too, letting you know, hey, there's an area to switch there. Make sure we ain't picking up too much speed, because I can hear it increasing speed. Yeah, it tried to sneak up on me. As soon as I go outside and try to work the camera, that's whenever it's going to do it. But I can kind of hear it. I can tell what it sounds like as it speeds up. It's like a hum that you can hear. I think maybe the axles, the bearings humming. 'Cause that's a lot of weight on it. The bearings in these things are like the size of lawnmower tires. They're huge. Steadily slowing down when it's going. having other engines at the back, because you got to think the weight of those tanker cars are being stretched apart, because that other engine's also trying to stop or slow us down. So that plays a factor, because there's like how the couplings, they got a spring effect in the middle of them. Well, you're stretching that spring effect out, so the gravitational pull starts changing. See, now we're increasing speed. We'll try to keep it at like 30 miles per hour. We still got 14 more miles to go. We're right in the middle of all this downhill, but it looks like it's going to be another episode. It's quite fun with me. This is the fun part. Let's get out here on this, get around this corner where we can see what's going on. This is the mountain range. See it? They look like mountains here, but they don't really look like what's in real life. Back off of this corner. There we go. This is a famous area where people record these trains at, so we're not too far away, but but yeah, it's definitely going to be another episode, so let's go ahead and save this where this is at. Alright.